Hope you're doing well.
My name is Oliver.
And I'm Simone.
Welcome to the Williams family journey. Spirit fingers, we did it again. You got it right. We need a little bit more enthusiasm.
Okay.
You'll get there soon.
Yes.
All right, Simone. What's this video about?
The misconception of training while pregnant.
The misconception of training while pregnant.
Right?
You're
that
correct.
makes sense? Okay.
That makes sense.
Exactly. All right. So I wish I could do this in French and English, right?
Well, before we go into this video, just a recap. Simone and I were both personal trainers. We've been training for, how long have you been training for?
7, 8 years now?
8 years, I say.
Something like that,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I've been doing it 7 years. Yes.
And you've been training your whole...
Well, yeah. Well, no, the reason why I say that is because we both have trained women that have either were pregnant or have become pregnant while in our services.
So I'm not the first pregnant person I'm dealing with.
Yes. So this is not coming from personal experience, personal current experience. It's coming from everything up until this point that we've done. So we're not claiming to be experts.
Yes.
But we do know a bit about this topic.
Yeah.
All right.
So like I said, I wish I could do this in French also, because who knows, maybe I might do a video alone to kind of say the same thing in French, or I just put all over there to torture him and just speak in French, and then you just have to like smile, like say oui, no. So anyway, we've been supposed to make this video, and I didn't want to do it without Oliver, because I felt like, it's best that you hear from both me and him, two different gender, talking about training while pregnant. My family, friends who are trainers, friends who are not trainers, and everybody else, right? So the first time when I announced that I was pregnant, mostly people who don't necessarily work out or don't know much about training, the first thing that they told me was like, oh, you're going to stop training, right? You're going to stop training. Basically, like, kind of like thinking that because I was pregnant, it meant that everything had to stop. Like
because you became pregnant.
Because everything had to stop. Now I became this egg, and et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Number one thing, your physician has to clear you to work out. That's a fact, right? You could have been working. Your physician had to clear, as in yes, you could resume your physical activity, or they could say, you know what, you're going to be in bed rest. That's the first thing you got to clear. All right. Now, number two is, where do I even start with this? Okay. So, just because I don't even know like which part where to start.
Well, let me see if I can help. I think we're in a very inactive society, and exercising it hasn't been a priority for many years. So exercising while your body's going through this changing is seen as something that could be traumatizing to your body and or the baby. So I'm not sure if this is where you're getting at, just the misconception of what exercise is. Because a lot of people think exercise, they only think dieting, going down, not eating, and looking a certain way.
Or they think of bodybuilders,
well,
right?
Yeah, that's
looking a certain way. Okay.
Yeah.
When it's not the case, like I said, okay, that's not the case, right? And the reason why, for instance, like we in first world country, whatever the case is, we probably have to work out more, actually allocate an hour or 2 or 3 during the week to go work out, is because we are sedentary, right? The pandemic happened, we're even more sedentary, because even if you had a 9 to 5 before, if you live in New York City, for instance, where we come from, you will leave your house, you will walk to the train, up and down the stairs, walk to work, and then do the same thing. You could probably walk in New York City. I used to do an average of 20K steps a day without trying to do 20K steps a day, right? But if I had a 9 to 5, I would still go and sit down, right? So me just leaving my house, going to the train and getting to work, it doesn't balance me sitting down for 9 to 5 when I'm at work. going back on home again, and sitting again
So,
watching
yeah.
TV, it doesn't negate
So
that.
your activity versus your sedentary is super off balance.
Exactly. So that's
no
what
matter how much walking you're doing.
Exactly. So that's why we still have to like do that. Now, somebody who's maybe still here in the U.S. whatever and works on a farm, a construction worker, or any kind of person who has to do like their work involves like manual labor. They probably don't have to work out as much as me. They don't spend the whole day sitting down. I mean, have you ever seen a farmer? They're freaking strong. I mean, talking about actual strength. So they move stuff, they have to move around, they have to lift, and they do all that stuff compared to somebody who's sitting down, it's day and night, right? And before I even tackle how you should work out and everything, so I have a question, right? I seen not even a question, I have just an example. I seen sometimes people will post, women who are pregnant will post a video of her lifting, not even much weight, something as simple like 5, I think maybe like 10, 15 pounds, right? Not an extreme athlete. And then people will say, oh my God, you're so selfish. Why are you working out? Don't worry about your body run. It's all about the baby and everything. In my head, I'm like, you're really worrying about this woman lifting a 10 to 15 pound. Even if you have a partner who's going to help you, who's strong, going to help you carry the stuff, right? Let's say I was a stay-at-home mom and Oliver has to go to work, right? To provide for us, and I'm staying home and I don't have to work. I need to be strong enough, right? Because he's at work. I need to be strong enough to carry the baby. I need to be strong enough to carry the baby and the stroller. So how do I expect to like not work out during the pregnancy after I got clear that I could work out and then give birth and then boom, now I could carry 10, 15 pounds because I have to carry at least my baby, and baby grows, right? So I never understood when people like complain that a woman is literally training, well, just like 15 pounds. Something is not even, to me, that's not even heavy, right? So that's another thing also, like you literally need your strength. If you're weak, I mean, you're gonna be left behind. Like the weakest don't survive.
Yeah.
Even like if you go on
the survival now.
Yeah, even if you go in like the jungle, like the weak do not survive. Like you leave the hospital, you gotta put your baby in a car seat, and some car seat weigh about what already?
Well, you don't want a car seat
that weighs too much.
That weighs over 10 pounds without the baby in it.
Exactly. But then again, also it's not a small thing, it's bulky. Mm-hmm. So those former carries you do at the gym are going to help you carry your infant, your child. Baby. You're going to carry the car seat with your baby inside and all that kind of stuff. You got to go to the supermarket like again. Even if you have a partner, they have to be left. You got to be right. You got to do all that stuff. If you're a single parent, you don't have anybody to help you, so you need to be strong enough to carry your baby and go XYZ. So that's another reason why you should be also working out. Okay? Now let's go back from the front, from the beginning. I was working out before we became pregnant, right? I was already working out. I was already doing certain things. So my body is already used to like lifting weights, hiking, all that kind of stuff. One thing I was not going to do now is start a new sport. I don't play tennis. I don't move like this so easily, stuff like that, right? So I'm not going to say, you know what? I'm pregnant now. I'm going to start a new sport. I'm going to become a gymnast now. I'm going to start walking. I'm going to start like practicing pole, dance pole sport, whatever it's called, those classes, whatever. I'm not going to pick up something new. I'm going to do things that my body is already familiar with because I already know there's less risk of like me injuring myself because I know how to move. There's less risk of me falling because I know how to move. My body understands it. So I'm not doing anything new. That's one thing. Also, if you never play any big sports, whatever, you don't start doing that thing first. So I would never recommend a person who has never been, I don't get on the bike right now because I never really got to the point where I was really good at the bike. So I kind of left cycling alone just because I feel like, you know what, I don't want to fall, right? Just because I don't want to fall. Like I stopped doing box jump, not because I can't do box jump. Like, you know what, I don't want to slip and fall because little stuff like that can happen. So I might have a skip on certain things so that I don't injure myself. Number 2, right? Your body is changing, right? You are growing, you are gaining weight, your baby is growing, all that good stuff. You want to make sure that your joints, your pelvic floor is strong enough to hold your baby. Things that happen, you could do all of that and something still goes wrong. Something still goes wrong. That's for sure. But you want to make sure you give yourself the best tool. You just sitting down on your butt and now moving, that calls for like back pain, joint pain, stuff like that, because you're gaining weight, you're not moving, your body just kind of like, your body stays at rest. So why would you want to do that unless you are told, you know what, you got to be in bed. You got to just kind of like rest. So training when you're pregnant is not a time to try to go for a record. It's not a time to be like, oh, I'm going to go hike Whitney right now. I'm going to do something crazy right now. No, it's not a time, but you still need to move. Do you want to add something? Or you
No, I'm just trying to, you're saying things. So what I'm getting at from what you're saying, when you're pregnant that's not the time to start doing like HIIT workouts.
If you've never done them.
That's not the time to start.
Yes.
You're saying you've been doing this. What you've been doing now is what you've been doing before, so your body understands this movement, and this movement is it's preventative. No, it's future proofing what you're going to be doing after the baby's coming through. So, am I getting that right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, I'm just going to. I know what you're talking about, so I'm just trying to relate it to them that don't know exercise terminology and all that stuff that you're putting out there.
Okay.
So pretty much, if you haven't been exercising, when you become pregnant, that is not the time to go in the deep end in the gym. If you've been in the deep end in the gym, you can continue as advised by your doctor. All right. So we're just assuming everything is good. You're cleared. If you go to the gym for the first time, you're going slow because a lot of things your body doesn't know, and you don't want to do things that you don't understand.
Yeah.
But if you're pregnant and you're cleared to work out and you've been working out, you can continue on what you're doing and just feel your body out, or go with a certain program that's gonna adjust with your the months that you're pregnant.
Yeah, I mean, you could always hire, if when in doubt, you can always hire a professional.
Yeah. But the thing is, are you finished with your points?
Keep going.
No, I'm saying the thing is, working out, it is like women being told to take pre and postnatal vitamins. The prenatal vitamins is to prep your body for pregnancy, and the postnatal is to prep your body to recover from it. And that's the same thing with working out. Your pre-exercise before you're pregnant, it's you working so your body is at the optimal shape for this physiological change. Post-pregnancy, so I think it's usually 3 months after, it's to recover from the traumatic episode your body just went through and try to heal as best as you can. Muscle heals everything faster.
Yeah. No, precisely. Like you want to make sure. I mean, would you want to, like, the goal for training, right, is to stay as physically in shape, as strong as possible, right, to be as functional as possible. Because imagine if I had gone in this pregnancy, I already have some kind of like joint or back pain. And then here I am again, adding more weight into those joints already cannot need necessarily support what I'm already carrying. Now I'm going to add this baby who's like just taking all the good stuff out of me, relying on all my strength. So that's why it's good to work out even before. It's good to work out before and work out during. And then knowing that also you're going to give birth, you're going to give yourself a couple of weeks to maybe just like walk, and eventually you're going to gradually get out of that, like, recover. But honestly, if you went there as strong as possible already, I promise you, your recovery will be so much better than if you hadn't gone through it.
Yeah.
It's not me. It's science. It's been proven over and over and over and over. So it's like...
Yeah, we're keeping this very layman's terms because we could throw stuff at you, but it's going to go right over your head.
Yeah.
It's not going to make a nice conversation.
And then things like, even when you never done strength training, as if you never went to the gym, whatever the case is, or if the gym could be your home, right? If you never done anything like that, when you're pregnant, you could still start something, because when it comes to strength training, it doesn't mean that you go from, you woke up and then you wake up and you go to pull-ups. No. It doesn't mean that. Like, it could just literally be me, like, you know what, I'm going to practice in squatting on my chair. I'm going to, just from the basics to the most difficult thing. So you don't have to get up and say, okay, I'm pregnant now, I'm going to do strength training, I'm going to start back squatting. No, you don't have to do that. You could literally start with your own body weight and start with the basics, and your body will thank you. You know?
I think where this all stems from, like I said in the beginning, is people's misconception of what the gym is, what this functional training is. Because a lot of people go into the gym thinking, okay, I want to look good. Mm-hmm. People go to the gym after pregnancy not because they want their body to be physically fit, is to look a certain way to before they got pregnant or anything like that. What we're talking about, we're not when we say workout and stuff like that, we're not talking about to look good. Like, we're not talking about to see how good you look in the mirror. We're talking about your body functioning. So before your pregnancy, you want your body to be as strong as possible. Now, strong as possible doesn't mean as thin as possible, doesn't mean the max amount of weight you can do, doesn't mean how fast you can run. No, as fit as your body can be. So when you get into the pregnancy, there's nothing your body's strong enough to carry. There's a lot of other physiological things that can happen, but going in, again, your best foot forward. When you go into a test, you want to study as much as you can on the subject to answer the question as to your best of your ability on the test. But of course, when you take the test, there might be some questions you just don't know.
Yeah.
So when you go into a pregnancy, you want to be as strong as you can be, and strength is relative.
Yeah. Yep. That's the
strength is it's relative. So it doesn't mean you've been to the gym 3 weeks before pregnancy. Cool.
Yeah.
You're stronger 3 weeks before you had the baby than you are now, that you can continue exercising and be the strongest version of yourself while carrying.
Yeah.
Because if you, again, like you're saying, if you have joint pain, if you have lower back pain,
especially that,
if you have lower back pain going into a pregnancy and you're not taking anything for it, and if you are taking something for it, most likely you're going to start taking something for it or taking more of it because it hurts that much more.
Yeah.
But if you focused on, okay, I have back pains before you're pregnant and started doing things for that, you could carry that into your pregnancy, continue doing those exercises. So when the baby does get heavy, you know what to do. You know, your back is stronger. You just got to strengthen it as more the pregnancy that allows you to do those exercises.
Yeah. And also another thing also, like, you give birth and your baby keeps getting bigger and bigger, right? You need to be stronger and stronger to be able to carry this child. I see kids who are like 2-3 years old and they're asking their parents to carry them. Like, you say, I'm tired. The baby doesn't understand that you're tired. I want to be carried now. Like, let's go. Let's do this, right? And the thing about strength training, unfortunately, I mean, it's true. Most people just relate training and working on movement to a certain aesthetics. If you want to work out for aesthetics, be my guest, do that. But unfortunately, it's like, even if you do reach your aesthetic goal, you cannot just stop. Like, if I can't say, you know what, I worked out the whole last year. This year, I'm not working out. I'm good. I'm good for the rest of my life. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that, right? No, you don't have to work out every single day.
Yeah. Intensity, you don't have to.
Like, you're gonna hear people say deload week. I'm just kind of like chilling this week kind of thing. But unfortunately, you gotta keep, like, it's consistency. You can't say, you know what? Oh my God, I work out. I'm finally feeling well. No more back pain. I could do 10 push-ups. Okay, I'm good. No, you can't say that. You gotta maintain it. Yeah. You gotta keep going.
You gotta maintain it to a degree that you're comfortable with.
Yes.
If you want to continue doing 10, then you got to work out as if you want to do 10.
Yeah.
But if you say, you know what, 10 was the goal, now I could like just do 6 now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're still strong, but you're not that peak strength, we'll say.
Yeah, exactly. So whatever is sustainable to you.
Yes, we're talking about sustainability now. When we talk about strength training, we're not talking about you're up here. We're not talking about you don't work out, you're down here. We're talking about you find that middle ground that you don't have to work out all the time.
Yeah.
But you know how to work out, you know the frequency that's good for you and your schedule, and you're able to maintain it. You're consistent in that.
Exactly.
So a lot of misconception is that Simone working out, that she's doing that for an aesthetic appeal. Because people, again, associate working out with an aesthetic appeal. But no, it's just staying strong. Staying strong as possible, and with the weight that allows her to do that.
Yeah. So, I do not want to be comfortable. I do not want to be uncomfortable. I really don't want to sit here and my back is hurting me. I don't want to feel that. I don't want to feel like after I give birth and then I gotta be laying down for more days because my back is hurting me, my hips are like, I don't want to deal with that.
It's almost like you're trying to. You don't want to be prescribed anything that you don't need to be prescribed.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, all of this is preventative, right? Yeah. And another thing is, so even if I take muscle relaxant for my back, sometimes you might take a cream now and then. It's good, but it does not address the problem.
Yeah.
If you got a weak glute, you got a weak glute. It doesn't matter how much cream you're using to kind of like help you alleviate the whatever. Your glutes are still weak. That's it.
Weak glutes means there's a weak lower back. Back pain.
Yeah.
Just making sure
Exactly.
you guys understood what she's talking about because she's going.
So I'm saying, like, and you could be, if I need to go down to pick up my baby, now I bend down and I pull a muscle. Like, why?
And the big thing is even a lot of it's like getting your baby out of the crib.
Yeah. Or maybe when they're here, they're on the floor. You gotta put them on their back, on their stomach, on the floor. Now, how do I?
That's gonna. If you don't address your back issue, that's gonna perpetuate that back issue.
Exactly. How do I get there?
How do you get down?
Right now, I'm having a little bit of a hard time to just bend over because my belly to just tie my shoelaces. I have to squat down to tie my shoelaces, or maybe cross, or maybe just have Oliver do it. But the point is, like, I need to get to the floor to get to my shoes, right? Mm-hmm. So all those things are like, I'm training just so I could be as independent as possible. Yeah. That's it.
And even now, when you talk about independence, this is why people that are senior citizens, older people, mm-hmm. should work out, because as soon as you lose your ability to get up off the floor, that's when you need a nurse, or that's when families take their parents and put them in homes because they can't support themselves. And that's like this most simplest test. Like, I'm falling, I can't get up. That's where that comes from. If a person can't get up from the floor, that's when they need assistance in their lives. That's when they need intervention of other people. So if Simone gets to a point where she can't do something on her own, then she'll need me. Then she loses her independence of doing that.
And then unfortunately, you cannot always have people 24/7.
Yeah.
Like I say, like even if I'm not working right now and he has to be at work, how am I gonna get him to come get? Then I have to spend the whole day on the floor because I'm stuck here. You know. So
just literally learn how to squat down. I mean, and again, this is movement patterns. So when we say working out, I don't want you to think people you see in the gym or advertisements. We're literally talking about almost the basic getting up, sitting up and down from a chair, little like 90 degrees, right? Little weights here, put it over your head.
Yeah.
Any kind of incline push-up, simple things that just keep your joints moving and
no muscle atrophy.
Yeah, pretty much. Because depending on how, especially for your pregnant women, depending on how you give birth, is gonna dictate how mobile you are or what you've been doing. Because if you're in the hospital, you're gonna be on your back in the birthing position, and that position is a deep squat.
Yeah.
So if you don't do that, it's gonna be uncomfortable all over the place. But if you have been practicing a deep squat, not doing a squat motion, just it's almost like a stretch. You go down there, the hip stretches.
Yeah.
Just going down there, holding that position. So it'll make that situation a lot more comfortable. Again, you're thinking ahead. But just again, getting your pelvis right, it's an all over kind of just literally just taking control.
Yeah.
This working out thing is not about vanity.
Yeah.
It's taking control of your life because this baby's gonna do a lot. So you have to prevent. It's very taxing. So you have to do your best so your body to meet that challenge and succeed afterwards. Because the recovery can be just as long or longer depending on how trained your body is.
I mean, honestly, people sometimes think that postpartum is just 2 months. Nah, it's the rest of your life. Once you give birth, you're always postpartum. Like, don't think that even you might feel like, I kind of feel good, I'm good. No, you still have to it took 9 months for your body to create and build all this human being, bones and all that kind of stuff. You think after 2 months you're good? No, you're not good. Now, if you were already going there now with your best foot forward, you're going to need way longer than that, I know they make it seem like, after 6 weeks. No, 6 weeks is more like, okay, after 6 weeks, maybe you could start doing more than breathing exercise. Maybe you could start doing glute bridges, but it doesn't mean that after 6 months, you're going to start going crazy again.
But the thing, and that all comes from how trained you are.
Yeah, exactly. You could literally, you could bounce back quickly, but if you went in there, Because
I know some ladies that, maybe, we'll say a few, not days, a few weeks after, they started doing super short walks, and they were winded.
Yeah.
And these are trained ladies, and they were winded. So.
Yeah, some of my clients, some of my clients took longer to recover than others, even though they were also training, Yeah. So the short answer, should you work out when you're pregnant? Yes. Should you work out before you're pregnant? Yes. Should you work out after you're pregnant? Yes. Should you work out in general? Yes.
Well, again, there's degrees to this.
Yeah, degree. I'm not going to do back flip, front flip, whatever the case. I'm
handstands.
not handstands.
Those yoga poses where they're on their headstand.
If you want to do that, fine. But that's not what we're talking about, right? There are 7 basic movements that you can learn how to do, and then you're fine.
That's it.
You just have to progress.
That's it.
And then that's it.
Progressing can be consistent.
Yeah, that's it. Program be consistent. And the different ways you could progress: time, weight, reps.
Yep.
Time and attention. That's the 4th one. But anyway,
that's advanced.
That's advanced. Okay. So if you have any questions about it, some more you could ask in the comments and everything. But like I said, working out right now is not for aesthetic point of view. Like, no. Right now, my body is focusing on getting as much body fat as possible to protect my baby. My body's not, I don't care how much I'm working out. My body's like, listen, we're in survival mode right now. Pretty much. We're in survival mode.
This baby's sucking up everything. That means we need more of it. And when we get it, we're going to store it.
And that's it.
A little bit of excess, we got it right here.
Yeah. I need more body fat right now. So
especially like around the hips. Mm-hmm. I read that a lot of the body fat goes around the hips because that's what a lot of the
you gotta protect all that,
So the body's working, and
I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful that things are happening and it's going like the way it's supposed to. Yeah. Because honestly, who wants to be uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Who wants to be uncomfortable? You want to get up in a chair and you're like, geez Louise, why do I feel like I got hit by a truck when all you were doing was sitting down? You know. Yeah. When in doubt. So
at the end of the day, walk.
Walk. That's it. Walk. And there are so many. I do group classes. There are people who do like a pre and postnatal yoga, Pilates, and stuff like that. You know, and if you have the fun and you could hire a trainer even just once a week to kind of like guide you, give you a program, do not be afraid to do that. But honestly, yes, do go work out. Yeah. It's important to you.
There's no downside. That's the thing. We're working out. There's no downside.
No.
If you're taking your time and doing what you know how to do.
Yes.
Like, you don't have to do the fancy stuff.
No.
We're talking about the bare bones.
Yes.
Bare bones progressions.
Exactly. And honestly, it's like, you know, like when you're thirsty and you're thirsty and you drink like a nice glass of water and your body just says like, thank you right away, right? That's kind of like working out feels. It's kind of like, oh man, like I took care of myself. I quenched my thirst. This is how exactly working out feel. You might feel a little tired, but even your sleep, you're going to sleep better. You know, you're going to just feel more, you're going to have more energy. You might think that, man, I'm always tired. You're probably always tired because you're probably not moving enough and you feel like, oh, I don't have energy to work out. And you don't have to start with 1 hour, 2 hours. You could start with 15 minutes.
I'm saying
15 minutes. You could start with 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then walk your way to 1 hour.
That's progression.
Yes. Maybe do like 2 15 minutes a week. And then 2 30 minutes a week. And then you just progress. That's it.
That right there is a 4-month plan.
And then what I always say, you know what? If you're totally new, you're just starting from the ground, give yourself realistic goals. Don't say I'm going to start working out 5 times a week when your schedule's all over the place. Yeah. You could literally start, I'm going to start every Monday at 3 p.m. I'm going to do 15 minutes. And if you feel like, 3-4 weeks, I was able to do that already, the following week you could add a second one, right? Start with things that are realistic. Like for this month, I say I was
realistic and achievable.
Yes.
Don't make it crazy.
You know, and it doesn't matter if you see somebody doing pull-ups, whatever the case, they didn't start doing that. They started from the basics. And they were consistent and patient, and they got to where they want to get. So
like when I was working out heavy, like when I was doing heavy squats, bench, deadlifts, and stuff like that, I didn't look at other people squatting heavier. Yeah, I never did. I looked at other people what they were doing. Mm-hmm. So what they did after they squatted. Mm-hmm. Okay, they might did the leg press, they might did the leg extensions, whatever the case may be. I was like, okay. That's how I'm gonna form my next cycle of working out. Mm-hmm. So I never put myself in competition of someone I didn't know because they're doing something either better than me, heavier than me, whatever. I just said, you know what? I like how they're doing it, so I'm gonna try to implement something from that. Yeah. So I don't want you to go to the gym saying, oh my goodness, all these people are all over. No. If you want to go on the treadmill, do your walk there, and then bounce. Just make sure you just remember how either far that walk was or how long that walk was, and do a little bit better the next week.
That's it.
That's it. That's
That's
all we're
really
asking.
it. Yeah.
We're just trying to train your body so your body doesn't deteriorate on you.
Exactly.
Because
and that's the point,
yeah.
and that's the thing. That's the point of working out. That's it. Like I said, you're gonna see somebody who lives in a country where they have to walk to work and they work in a farm, whatever the case. They don't have to go to the gym. They don't have to allocate 1 hour. Whether the gym is at home or another building, don't have to allocate 1 hour for that. We do that because we live here and we're on her butt.
And those same farm people, like the lady that's pregnant there, she's still doing her farm stuff.
Yeah, she's still doing that.
It's a part of her routine. So
exactly, you know.
So the thing is, like, is again, routine and consistency. If your routine is just going to work, coming home, sitting down and watching TV, your body's going to be the best version for that. That means it gets sloppy. But if you go to work, come home, do a little something, then do that, and just make that doing something a little bit longer, your body will adapt and it'll get stronger because that little something is taxing and it needs to get stronger for that little something in your life now. So
I mean, I've had clients who could not even walk a whole block without getting winded. I'm talking about walk, not even like a little jog. Like they like, oh, I can't go up like a flight of steps, I can't. So it could just be like that. It could just be in your building. You have to go up the stairs to go to your apartment. Maybe you live on the 5th floor. So maybe every Monday I'm going to try 1 floor at a time. Maybe there's a hill on your block that you say, you know what? Every time I walk up that hill, I got to stop 20,000 times. So I'm going to see. Every Monday I'm going to do, I don't know how many steps. And then the next day I want to add a little bit. Just how you program your stuff. Like you just keep track of what you're doing and just trying to improve every day, right?
Like I had one client, I had her before she got pregnant. She told me that she was trying to get pregnant. Mm-hmm. She worked out with me once and she came another time on her own to do the treadmill. Mm-hmm. She told me she wanted to get pregnant, continue doing that. Mm-hmm. She got pregnant, still continuing that. Then I saw her up to, I believe, 4 weeks, and then the pandemic hit. Mm-hmm. But she was doing the same thing she had been doing. She didn't change anything.
Yeah.
Then the pandemic, like her senses came off for the pandemic quick. She's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But like she had a routine, so nothing stopped.
Yeah.
It just kept going. It's gonna be a time where things need to be pulled back a bit, but it's all in her range of motion. So that's the thing. Like, just be consistent in something, especially if you want to get pregnant or you're in the early stages of pregnancy or at the latter stages or post. Try something.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then look into the muscles that are involved when you're pregnant, right? Because like I said, people like we talk about training a lot for aesthetics, right? But nobody talks about this part. How does this part support your baby? Like how does that part get bitten after you have to carry the baby and push the baby out, right? As in, when I say kind of like, you work hard. This part really hard. Work hard, and then now you gotta rehabilitate it, right? Nobody really talks about it. People just more focusing about like the look, snap back. Oh my God, I have a client who told me, oh my God, did you see so and so after the baby? She looked like. I'm like, dude, did you not know people have surgery?
Yeah.
What is that new term that you just saw not too long ago?
It's not a new term. It's called the designer pregnancy.
Designer pregnancy, right? So this is a celebrity who had a baby, and then I guess 3 or 4 weeks.
No. Right after they do the C-section, they do a tummy tuck. Designer pregnancy or designer baby or something like that.
Exactly. So you are home. We don't have the money to afford all of that, right? And then this is what you see. You think that, oh my God, like the snapback in
they worked out their butt off.
That's a lie. Yeah. The only person I trust in Hollywood who had like a crazy snapback, what is her name? Tiana Taylor. That's the only one I trust. Everybody of them is a liar. They either wearing some girdles or whatever the case is. I'm like, dude, you did not even look like this necessarily before the pregnancy, and now you have pregnancy and after 2 weeks you look like that. But anyway, even if you do have the money to afford the mommy makeover, whatever the case is, guess what? It's not changing the fact that your hips need to be stronger, your core needs to be stronger. It does not change that fact.
It doesn't change the fact that your back is still bad.
Exactly, it doesn't.
It doesn't change the fact that your legs are just.
It doesn't. It's like putting paint on a broken car. Yeah. Hey, nice and a nice one. I like it. It's like putting paint on a car where the engine is already messed up.
It looks nice.
It looks nice, but it can't go anywhere.
It can't get you that next mile.
It can't go anywhere. So please check on those muscles that are being used. And I feel like pregnancy, yes, pushing the baby out is a natural thing that some of us could do. But also sometimes we underestimate how much work it is.
Yeah.
Like how much work and how much taxing it takes. You know, because we kind of like, oh yeah, it's natural, and I don't want anybody to be scared. I don't want to be scared. But at the same time, I also understand that I need to be prepped mentally, emotionally, and physically for this.
But yeah, well, you don't want to be scared, but don't try to scare her.
Yes. Don't be like,
with your assumptions.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so many times people say, "Oh my God, oh, you're gonna gain weight." I'm like, did I say I was afraid to gain weight? Like, what part of on my Instagram page have you ever said I'm afraid to gain weight, or not that I'm afraid to go? Like, no, I don't. No, that's not what I care about. I care about being healthy, our baby being healthy, and making sure that everything is going fine. Losing weight, gaining weight, or losing weight, that's the last of my concern. Like I do this for a living. If I really want to focus on aesthetics, I could do that.
You've done that.
I've done that.
Yeah.
Like if you follow for a long time, you know I've been to bodybuilding, which is like basically you eat, sleep, train for aesthetics. So if I really wanted to do that, that's the way I'll be. You know. So yeah, exactly. So
I ate, slept, train for athletics.
Exactly. So don't be
the glitz, whatever glitters not gold.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So don't.
Let's work. Let's be the best version of ourselves physically.
Yes.
Which is being strong.
Exactly.
We're not talking about everyone's beautiful.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about exteriorly. We're talking about making sure everything about us functions well, because we're talking the long game.
Longevity. I mean, you don't want to. I don't know about you guys, but I want to be kicking it with my grandkids. You know, I want to be strong enough to do that. I want to be as independent as possible.
And the way society's going now with women having children later in life.
Yeah. You want to make sure
you're going to be old when that happens.
Exactly.
So you don't want to be in a wheelchair.
Exactly. I have friends who want to have kids when they're 37, which is fine. When you're 40, you can have a kid. But now do you want to be 45 and you could barely move because you didn't take care of your body?
Yeah. So again,
aesthetic is aesthetics, but
we're talking long-term planning. And
exactly.
And that's tough for a lot of people.
And then you want to if you want to have your kids want to play, right? Now you can't because your back hurts or whatever the case is. You want to make sure you're staying. So long story short, go work out.
You said that a few times. So long story, over and over again.
Making
it short. Go work out.
Yes.
Do something. Be productive in self-development that doesn't have to do with pleasing someone else. Mm-hmm. This is all about you. This is all about what you can do, best version of yourself that makes yourself happy. We're not trying to make other people. You're not trying to make someone else happy the way you look. You're trying to be as physically fit for yourself. So whatever your end goal is. For yourself,
for your family.
Yeah. So whatever your end goal is, you could be present. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. Because a lot of people, they work so hard and they do so much in those grinding years, but they don't take care of themselves. So when they do, let's say, retire, it's like, well, I'm beat up. I can't do nothing.
I can't even enjoy that money.
My back hurts, my knees hurt, my elbows hurt.
Someone else gonna be sitting around enjoying your money.
It's like.
So anyway,
okay.
I hope we this
ranted our way through it.
Yeah,
Simone ranted. I just helped.
I know. I hope this was enlightening. I hope you understand why I do what I do, why we do what we do, what I encourage people to do this. And in case you don't know, I'm from Cameroon. Yes.
Everyone knows.
Anyway. All right. Thank you so much. This was a long enough video. It cut, but we're back. Yeah. So if you have any questions, whatever the case is, again, like, comments, ask a question. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and also hit the notification button wherever that is.
Somewhere.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Alrighty.
Until next time.
Until next time.
All right.
My name is Oliver.
Au revoir.
Peace.